when you start your journey, you do not get a lot of thoughts in your mind. And
Yes,
second thing, even though if you have a lot of thoughts, you're not able to express them because you do
yes,
not have enough words or enough sentences to express your thoughts. So it
yeah.
happened to me as well. Earlier, when I started my journey, it used to
Mhm.
happen when somebody used to ask any question, I was not able to answer them. How are you, Deepali?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for asking. Today I have invited Ashutosh Trivedi. He is from UP and he is a good speaker. Because of that, I have invited him on our channel. So welcome to my channel, Ashutosh.
Yes, thank you, Diwali. Deepali, thanks for just inviting me on your YouTube channel. So, how's your day going so far, and how are you today?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for asking.
My name is Ashutosh Trivedi, and I am from Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh. When it comes to my education, recently I completed my master's in English literature. Apart from this, I run a YouTube channel based on spoken English conversations, and professionally, I train a student, so I'm a spoken English trainer by profession. So that's all about me, and thank you for giving me this chance, I would say.
I want to know that how did you start this journey and what is the main reason of starting this journey?
Now coming to the journey of spoken English, why I start and why I started, I would say. So I started my journey in 2020, and reason was I had a lot of leisure time in COVID-19, and I wanted to do something which can give me a lot of benefits in future. So that's why I started my journey. And spoken English is always important, and it's always recommended for people to work on because they can get benefits everywhere. Wherever you go, you get benefits of spoken English. If you want to interact with somebody who's from South India, you cannot interact with them in Hindi because they do
Yeah.
not know Hindi, and you do not know Tamil and Malayalam, all these languages. So for having a common language, you should be better at it. So I wanted to be a good communicator. I wanted to be a confident speaker. That's why I started working on my spoken English.
Yeah, so initially it was your goal, and you know that you want to learn this language, you know the motive of learning this language, and because of that, you are consistent in this journey, right? Consistency also matters a lot, and you are the perfect example of that consistency. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, consistency matters a lot. Nobody can deny that the consistency is not important for anything in this world, actually. So when I started my journey, first thing was that I had a lot of leisure time. That's why I was consistent because I did not do anything specific in COVID. Everybody was talking about COVID-19. People were dying and people were frustrated, but I
Mhm.
wanted to focus on something else, and I wanted to channelize my just mind and redirect into something else. That's why I
Mhm.
started working on it, and I used to talk with the people, so I got a lot of experience, and I enjoyed that journey talking to people from Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Gujarat, knowing a different culture, that people were free at that point of time because many people, they lost their job, they were sitting at home. So that's why it is. So that's why I was consistent because I enjoyed that journey. I talking By talking to the people, I learned a lot of things. So that's why I was consistent throughout the journey.
Yeah, and what's about when did you start your journey? Obviously, you might get blank. So, how did you deal with that situation?
In the beginning, it happens, and it's very common that when you start your journey, you do not get a lot of thoughts in your mind. And
Yes,
second thing, even though if you have a lot of thoughts, you're not able to express them because you do
yes,
not have enough words or enough sentences to express your thoughts. So it
yeah.
happened to me as well. Earlier, when I started my journey, it used to
Mhm.
happen when somebody used to ask any question, I was not able to answer them properly. But
Yeah,
later, by listening to them, by listening to their answers, by listening to good speakers like Sadhguru, Jai Shetty, Priyanka Chopra, I understood that how to answer. And when I came across the same question and again, that tell me something about yourself, tell me about your family, studies, then I learned how to answer all those questions, right? So it is the repetition which taught me to become better in spoken English. That's how I learned. So it's a common phenomena, I would say, and a natural thing. When you start doing something for the first time, of course, you feel blank. But if you do that again and again, it is going to help you and you will be comfortable expressing yourself.
yes. And what do you think about what are the factors that that become the reason of going blank? Why we goes blank?
That
What is
is
the main
actually
cause
lack
of
of
going blank?
confidence. Lack of confidence, lack of practice, because you are
Yes.
doing that for maybe you did not do that in your past life, and you do
Hmm.
not have any experience of doing it in your just consistently. Lack of environment, I would say, because you
Yeah.
do not listen to people who speak in English in your surroundings. So that's why
Yes.
it happens. So that is a natural thing. When you do not know something, if I would say, tell me something about America, okay? But if
Yeah.
you do not know a lot about America, then how you are going to tell? You feel
Yes.
blank, right? Because you do
Yeah.
not have good knowledge about it. And second thing, you do not have a good practice of telling about all those topics. So
Yeah.
first knowledge and then practice. So if you have a knowledge and along with that, if you do practice regularly, then for sure you are going to express yourself without getting blank.
Yes, and also I want to add more point over here. We translate Marathi to English, Hindi to English, and it is time-consuming process. First, you will think in Marathi, and then you will speak in English, and you will find a proper word. So your thought process will get down, and because of that, it becomes difficult for you to speak English fluently. And even fear of making mistakes, people will judge me, and because of that you are not able, we do not we don't become a fluent speaker because fear of judgment as well, right? If we have lots of thoughts in our mind, and we want to share lots of things, that time also we feel like that, okay, I need to express it in another language, and I want to do not make lots of mistake. If I'm making mistake, so definitely I will not become a fluent speaker. So pressure of speaking a correct English, it is
Exactly.
also the one measure of become not become fluent speaker. Yeah.
Exactly. People are always afraid of making mistakes and they
Yes.
want to start speaking perfectly from first day. And that
Yeah.
is possible, I would say. It's very difficult to speak 100% accurately with
Yes.
grammar from first day onwards. It takes a lot of time. Even though you know grammar well, even though
Hmm.
you have all those structures in your mind, but they do
Yes.
not come out from your mouth in the same manner. So it
Yeah.
takes a lot of time for you to speak 100% accurately. And of course, I
Yes.
do not believe in that perfection. Everybody has the space to improve, and nobody is
Yes.
perfect. Nobody can be perfect. Even though native speakers, they make mistakes sometimes because we are human
Yeah.
beings, and this is our tendency to make mistakes, but we can reduce our mistakes from first
Yes.
day. So that's
Yeah.
that's what we can do, but we cannot say that from first day onwards you are going to speak 100% correct English.
Yeah. But if we are learning this language, and if someone is giving you feedbacks, if you are working on that feedback, so definitely, as I mentioned, that mistakes will get reduced and you will not make lots of mistakes, right? So, and always be ready for taking feedbacks as well and work on your feedbacks. Like even we are recording this session after like after visiting this station, we can revisit this recording. We do know that, okay, I was making mistake here, I need to work on my grammar, I need to work on my intonation, I need to work on my incomplete sentences as well, sometimes like wrong sentence formation as well. There's a lots of things we can work. And sometimes we do not know that we says that, okay, I am speaking perfect English, that day you will not anything, and you will not become a fluent speaker as well. If you are making mistake, it is sign of you are improving each day, right?
Exactly, of course. I don't really think so. Anybody speaks English with 100% accuracy and all grammatical rules, actually. It's very difficult to do so. So, making mistakes is common, but make mistakes as much as you can, but try to reduce them and try to come to know that what kind of mistakes you do. That is very important. Of course,
Yeah.
as you said, even though I listen to my own conversation sometimes, then I come to know where I made mistake. And even though sometimes I get the reminder in my mind instantly that I made mistake. Okay. So that's
uh,
how it is. So we can, but that only that can be happen by practice. That is
hmm,
what matters a lot, your confidence. And
yes.
you're able to convey your message means it's good. Okay. If you made one or two mistakes, it's fine. But if
Yeah.
somebody is able to understand whatever you said and whatever you're trying to say, then motive is completed, right?
Yeah. So what do you think about advanced vocabulary or basic vocabulary? Which vocabulary is most important when we speak with people? Basic English or advanced English?
It depends on a person to person. My perspective, I do not use a lot of advanced words. I want to reach out to a lot of people by speaking easy English and
Hmm.
simple English and clear English. That's what my, I would say, goal is. But for some people, they want to use a lot of advanced phrases and words in their conversation. So it's a choice. It depends on you. If you feel you want to sound advanced level speaker, you can learn a lot of vocabulary which
Hmm.
are good and fancy for you to use. But for me, my opinion is to speak easy and simple English as much as you can, because I'm
Yeah,
targeting audience who are not able to speak English. I'm not targeting people who are expert in English, right? So it depends on your audience as well. What kind of audience do you have? If I will
yeah,
start speaking advanced English in front of my villagers, they are not going to understand anything, whatever I'm saying. But if I
yeah.
would speak simple and easy words, maybe
Hmm.
they can understand at least 20 and 30%. So it
Yeah,
depends on you that what kind of audience you are addressing and what kind of audience do you have. So you should change yourself according to the audience as well. So for me, I always want to sound easy going speaker, I would say.
yeah. It is very kind, and if I have experienced this. If person is expert, they are always down to earth. You are also one of them.
I would
Some
say
people are there, yeah, some people are there, they use English because they want to insult people, but you are not like that. You as you mentioned that you always focus on basic English. Even you are not criticizing anyone that if they are using the heavy vocabulary, advanced vocabulary. So because of the knowledge that they have, and because of that they are using, and if they are using, they actually are a fluent speaker and they actually have good vocabulary. If even they use in their conversation, they definitely tell you that okay, what does it mean. They will rephrase that for you as well. It is
exactly,
kindness,
of course.
right?
Exactly, of course, it happens. And it's like, that individual's choice. I already said it depends. If you feel like using it, use it. That's good.
Yeah. And actually thing is that sometimes we goes blank, and because of lack of vocabulary, so instead of learning the advanced vocabulary, we must use synonyms of that vocabulary. So definitely it will help you to become a fluent speaker. You will able to understand what that person is saying, and you will not goes blank. Sometimes because of the proper word and proper vocabulary, don't remember that vocabulary right place, and because of that only you goes blank. Because of lack of vocabulary, if you have lack of vocabulary, go for similar synonyms and similar words. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm learning this language like this.
Yeah, that's a great way of learning, of course.
Yeah. So can you please mention at least two books that has changed your life?
Changed my life. To be honest, I'm not a good reader. But listening to good speakers, I learned a lot by, I would say, yes, a book, Think Like a Monk, is a very nice book written by Jay Shetty, because I listen to Jay Shetty a lot and he's a good podcast host. He's a good podcaster. So I
Yeah.
like that book also. That is very nice. That is Think Like a Monk. And I read another book that was Turning Point of My Life. The name of the book was Turning Point of My Life. It was based on APJ Abdul Kalam. So I liked that book also. But I'm not, to be honest, I'm not an avid reader. I'm not a bookworm. I do not read a lot of books. I focus on listening and watching a lot of content. But those two books and Ikigai as well. I would say the third one, Ikigai, that was a very nice book written by Japanese writer like Hector Gracia. So that was a nice book, I would say. All these books are really good with a good meaning. You can learn a lot from them.
Yeah. Jay Shetty is like the monk, right?
Yes, he is a former monk. He was a monk for 3 years, but now
Yeah.
he's living a life as a household. Mm.
Yeah. So, like, I have also seen his videos as well, and I also follow him on Instagram and YouTube as well, because he is a podcaster, and we need to consume lots of English content. So, yeah,
Exactly.
he speak amazing English and very simple English. It is understandable, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much for joining this session. And I have enjoyed session with you.
Thank you so much, Minwi. Thanks to you for inviting me here. And all the best and keep making content for people. Thank you. And keep
Yeah.
practicing.